This is Rebecca Frimmer with Kitchen Table Consultants, and I'm here today to share a short video with you on how to make changes to your chart of accounts in QuickBooks Online. Ideally, you want to be making those changes to match KTC's basic chart of accounts 7-number system, and I'll walk you through how we can make different types of changes so that you can go ahead and get your homework done. Okay, so in order to get everything ready, you want to have your 7 parent categories chart of accounts handout handy, so that you understand the parent categories that you need to program and potentially where the subcategories will go. You also want to open QuickBooks Online to your chart of accounts. So you go to the settings wheel, chart of accounts, and that's how you get here. I would also open your profit and loss statement. So you can go to reports, scroll down to business overview reports, and then profit and loss. Open that up, and then you'll have your profit and loss statement here, which is another nice way to refer to the accounts that are in your P&L. So the first thing that we want to do is make a list of what we need to do to clean up our chart of accounts and then refer to that list to quickly get the job done and avoid confusion as we go through the job. So looking at this P&L, I can already see what we need to do. So right off the bat, I see insurance is in the wrong category. We want to move that to fixed expenses. I can see that utilities are standing out on their own. We really want to tuck those in with operating expenses. And it looks like we're missing a couple of the parent categories that we need to fill out the 7-number system. So either those accounts need to be programmed or they've already been programmed and they don't have any data in them yet, so they're not showing in the P&L. So I can easily check that by reviewing my chart of accounts. Scrolling down, right when we land on chart of accounts, we first see balance sheet accounts. We want to scroll down until we see income in the type column. Income, cost of goods sold, and expenses are the main types of accounts we're going to see on the P&L. So this is where we're going to come to make our changes, the chart of accounts page. So I made that cleanup list here. We're going to create some parent categories. We're going to create some subcategories within those parents. We're going to show you how to move an account from one subcategory to another in the case of insurance. And then we're going to show you how to put an account in a subcategory when it's standing out on its own, which you'll probably need to do pretty frequently as you build your parent categories in the chart of accounts. All right, so let's go. First thing we're going to do is create those parent categories. So if you go to the top of your chart of accounts, click New. This is an expense category. We're talking about non-direct labor. So choose the detail type that most closely matches what you're working on and then give it a name. Non-direct labor. Non-direct labor refers to labor that's not part of our cost of goods sold, not directly working on the crop itself, but maybe like CSA management or sales or some other administrative labor. We're just going to type it in and save it. It's not a sub account. We don't have to do anything else. If we know we're going to repeat the same task, we can go to Save and New and save ourselves some time. So we're going to create one more parent category. I recommend creating all your parent categories up front. Just makes it a little faster and easier. And so now we're going to do one-time expenses. Great. We'll save and close and check our work. Scrolling down, do we see those new parent categories? Down to expenses. Yeah, they're right here. Okay, and we know they're parent categories because there's no indentation. All right, so let's create some subcategories. Also expense account, also cost of labor. This is the non-direct payroll account. We check sub account. And for the parent account, we can just start typing a suggestion and QuickBooks will offer us some things to pick from. So that non-direct labor account shows up right there if I start typing labor. And we're going to do 2 of these. So again, save and new. Expenses, cost of labor, non-direct payroll related. This is all of the stuff related to hiring an employee and the cost of that, but not actually the payroll itself. So like taxes or payroll service. This is a sub-account, again, of non-direct labor. So you can start typing and QuickBooks will suggest. Save and close. Scroll down, check our work. There it is. Parent category, 2 subcategories, indented, looks good. I think we're ready to roll. What were we going to do next? Let's check our list. We're going to move an account from one subcategory to another in the case of insurance. So going back to our chart of accounts, let's go find insurance. It was under general and administrative, but we want it under fixed. Click the down arrow, click edit. It's still going to be a sub account, so you don't even need to do anything with that checkbox, but just come here, find the header that you're looking for. And I think I had a little typo there. Let's try that again. Fixed expenses. There it is. Awesome. Save and close. So now let's look under fixed. Oh, look, insurance is right there where we want it. Okay. All right, what was our last task? Put an item in a subcategory that's hanging out on its own. So let's do that with utilities. Usually the first time you modify a chart of accounts, there's lots of individual accounts that are not organized. So you'll probably find yourself doing this task quite a bit. That's why I say create the parent categories first and then move the categories within. That way you're not deleting or creating any accounts that aren't necessary. You're just sort of sorting and organizing the accounts that you already have. Okay, so let's go down to utilities right here. This is a cool example because this account was built so that utilities has some sub-accounts. So if we move the parent account here, utilities, it's all going to stay as a unit. So let's edit utilities, sub-account, and we're going to put it in operating expenses, which is where it belongs. Okay, so now when we move utilities, its sub-accounts will become a third tier. So you'll see operating expenses and then utilities tucked in, and then those subcategories will stay under utilities. Let's save and close and check our work. Okay, so there it is, utilities, operating expenses, subcategory utilities, and then the child accounts under sub-accounts under utilities stay right where they're supposed to go. Okay, so let's see how this impacted our P&L. So now we can run our P&L one more time, and now we can see that insurance is moved where it's supposed to be, utilities are moved where they're supposed to be, and we're not seeing the new accounts we created because there's no data in them. But once we put data in those new accounts, then they will show up as well, and we'll see that 7 numbers format in our own P&L, which is the goal, so that we can get our homework done and do a better job on our individual farm metrics. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and good luck with your homework.